Okay, so according to the thread calculator, we're shooting for about 990 thou outside diameter before we start cutting our threads. That should be the crest diameter. Now, as far as cutting the threads themselves, I don't do a whole lot of left-hand threads, so I'm just going to use my standard right-hand thread tool. It's short enough that the helix angle shouldn't be too much of a problem on a single start thread. So it's what I have. I'm going to run with it. But to start with, and it's not even all that critical, but it needs to be about an inch back, maybe a hair more back from the end of the stock to start the threads. There we go. So I can take about half of that line. I'm going to run from there to the right, take a light peel, because this material, make sure my unit's actually reading a proper 0. Yeah, 999 thou. According to that, I take a 5 thou on the radius, which will give us a 10 thou in the diameter. Alright, so use the micrometers for a slightly better measurement. I say slightly because, you know, I realize they're certainly not an expensive micrometer, but they do work. $9.96. Basically, maybe like a spring pass. I added a thou, so it should be down about where we're at on this. Because the outside dimensions could be anywhere from 998 to, well, yeah, 998 to 987 as far as their external dimensions. So, see where we're at here. So that'd be what? 994? No. Yeah, it'd be about 994. Good enough. We're going to go with that for our thread dimension, or for our outside diameter. Now, next step. Take our tool. I should have made sure there's enough space there. At least there was, thankfully. And I need to readjust my compound rest. I'm not going to bore you with that or shake the machine while I'm doing that, so I'm just going to pause it right now. The only thing is, I have to set my compound rest so, because instead of coming in this way, it has to come that way, because we're actually cutting that way, not toward the chuck. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing here, because we need to make a relief groove. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we need to make a relief groove to start the thread. I'm just going to do it right about there. Still gives us about an inch for the thread. Minor diameter supposedly 899 thou. Yeah, close enough. 885. That was just about right. And just so it's touching. There we go. Just started scratching there. Zero. Zero on both the zero on the compounds, or on the cross slide. Zero on the compound slide. I got my zero on the tool post, which measures where the compound rest is. Use, according to the chart on the side of the lathe, I can use pretty much any mark. It says 1 through 8, whatever. But just as a matter of habit, I know a person can do it faster. I'm just going to use 1. There we are. So, we have 12 TPI, and it's fitting the grooves. 12 TPI, and it's happy, lines up with the grooves. I'm happy. Let's cut this thread. Back my compound, or back my cross slide off. Back to the beginning. Back to 0. In feed with the compound rest. Slather it with a little oil. Marks come around. Crazy thing is, this is where the guy's not careful. Miss one step and kind of wrecks your day. So I'm going to be careful to make sure I got all my ducks in a row. Back out, over. Feed in with the compound. 5 thou maybe. Still have oil. It's definitely getting wider. Goes further and further in the hole. About 125. Into a 0. The cross slide is one full revolution of the cross slide handle is 125 thou. So when you bring it out, it brings it out a full 1/8 inch. It should give me plenty of clearance. Now I'm going to be measuring these threads using the thread using thread wires. PD thread wires, pitch diameter. And I should probably stop right now and check it right now. I think I may actually, no, I'll take one more cut. One more 2 thou cut. Should be getting pretty close. There we are. These are tricky on the best of days. I'm probably going to edit out a lot of the fiddling and farting with these thread wires. So that is 1 inch 50 thou. 1 inch 50 thou. So we have another, say, 15 thou to come off before we reach pitch diameter. Couple passes, I'll try measuring that again. That's kind of looking pretty thread-like. See, that was a spring pass. These off of it. It's actually looking pretty cool. I like that. A little sharp on the top, but on the tops of the crests, that's to be expected. And I apologize yet again for my fingers and everything in the way. Someday I'll have better camera mounting. There you go, 1 inch 37 on the nose. Be a fairly tight thread. I think I might make one more spring pass. Measure it then, that should be good with one more spring pass. Give it a burnish, both sides. Oh, that feels good. I like that. So, let us take the... Yes, I apologize for my hand being in your way again. I love you straightforwardly, without complexities or pride. So I love you because I know no other. Pitch diameter wires are a bit of a nuisance otherwise. Does not exist, nor you. So close that your hand on my chest is my hand. So close that your eyes close as I fall asleep. So, 1 inch 369 to, or 1 inch 1 inch 30, well basically 1 inch 31 thou to 1 inch 37 thou are the dimensions we're looking for. Right there we have 1 inch and 36 thou. I'm going to call that good. I'm just going to run a file lightly over the crest to take the burr off, and we're going to call that thread done. I may just take and knock the edges a little bit down, or down a little bit with a chamfering tool. Otherwise, this end of this shaft is done. I still have to do the keyway on it, but that's another operation to be done on the mill. Nice thing is I now have this this shaft that I can use for the gauge, or the thread gauge, for the nut that I'm making. This is the original saw cut end from where I picked it up out of the short end bin at the local metal supermarkets. Because it's flat, and I think that I'm going to pick it up a little faster yet. Try it. Let's get it shut as we can get it. Really, this part is actually just cosmetic. I want to take the just about. I'm going to take the edges of the hexes, or the corners, and yeah, there we go. Brought it right down to about the same. Brought the corners down to the included circle of the hex, so that it just sort of breaks the corners and makes it look a little bit more visually appealing. Nor the last person to make a bonehead mistake like that with a center drill. There you go, that's through. This stuff cuts really nice, really nicely. And I'm still using squeezy bottles for putting oil on. At some point I'd like to build some form of cooling system, or coolant system as it were, but that all requires time. There we go. Both sides are peeling a chip, so it's got some reasonable sharpness to it. There we go, we're through. Okay, so I have to bore this out a bit. I got her sped up. Got her sped up here. We're at 875. We're going to bring it out anywhere between 910 thou and 928 thou. So make sure that our cross slide tension is taken up. Backlash, same with the cross slide. Suppose we need to, well, engage the power feed, why not? How about the other power feed? Also helps if you don't. Also helps if you readjust it after you're threading. That's about 40 thou in diameter. I'm just using the dial, which I know isn't the most spectacularly accurate on this machine, but it's close. We'll take it. So, next step, pop the boring bar up. We got to set up our threading tool. I actually have a set of internal threading toolbar on its way. I bought it off eBay. I don't know where it is. Should have been here long ago, but anyway, this is what I have to work with. This thing should be able to have enough clearance. What I wound up doing was I have an old boring bar I picked out of a scrap metal bin, and I took that boring bar and a while back I drilled a hole in the end and used a file and filed a square hole in the end. I also threaded the end with a threaded hole, so I don't know if you can see you can just barely maybe see the bolt head up there. So I have a bolt to go in from the end to hold a tool blank. So I just cut up a short piece of 1/4 inch high speed and put a 60-degree point on the front and made it up to be able to be a single point threading tool. And here's hoping, as right about there is touch off. Haven't actually started yet, but right about there is touch off. And I'm hoping that I can have about a clearance to get to the back. Yeah, it looks about right. Yeah, it looks about right. So, about 96 thou in diameter, I believe. Okay, off camera, I just ran one more spring pass to take a thou or so out. And as you now see, she goes in. It's certainly not loose. It's not excessively tight. The nut and the shaft are now done. Well, the nut's done. Thread on the shaft is done. There's only one final operation to be done before I can give all this stuff back to Uncle Tim. And that is, need to cut a keyway in this end of this shaft.